welcome to our English news edition brought to you by Canal Algérie. To the headlines.
ونحن كحركة فتح نعاهد أن نكون أول المنفذين.
وأيضا من على أرض الجزائر إن شاء الله أقرب.
Under the aegis of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, the Palestinian factions signed the Declaration of Algiers. From occupied Palestine, our journalists report the Palestinian citizens' reactions following the signing of the Declaration of Algiers on Thursday. The President of the Republic receives the Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Staff Committee, and the Army General Said Shingreha puts forward the consolidation of cooperation and solidarity between the member countries. Algeria and Italy signed an agreement relating to car manufacturing in Algeria on Thursday. Good evening, those were today's headlines. First, now today's edition. The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, chaired on Thursday the proceedings of the Conference for the Unification of the Palestinian Ranks, which took place at the Palace of the Nations here in Algiers. The conference was culminated by the signing of the Algiers Declaration, a solid platform that will pave the way for the achievement of unity among all Palestinian factions. The signing ceremony took place in the presence of high executives and members of the government, members of the different Palestinian factions, as well as representatives of the diplomatic corps accredited in Algeria.
رئيس الجمهورية التئم بالجزائر من 11 إلى 13 أكتوبر 2022 بما شهد من النور المحمدي وما نشهد فيه على أرض الجزائر.
جميعا في هذا اللقاء الذي
العمل الجزائري الذي بذل الجهود الكبيرة وذل باس رئيس دولة فلسطين ورئيس اللجنة التنفيذية لمنظمة التحرير الفلسطينية خلال زيارته إلى الجزائر في الفترة من 5 إلى 7 ديسمبر من عام
نشهدها اليوم ويشهد
وخلال المحادثات عبر 1 من أجل تحقيق حريتهم وتؤكد الفصائل الفلسطينية كافة أعلن عنها السيد الرئيس عبدالمجيد تبون. سجلت في التاريخ العربي أنها احتضنت أول مكتب بين مختلف القوى الوطنية الفلسطينية أولا للنتائج. يتقدم المشاركون في مؤتمر لم الشمل من أجل تحقيق الوحدة الوطنية الفلسطينية.
The participants in the Conference for the Palestinian Unification signed on Thursday the Algiers Declaration, which constitutes a solid foundation for the reunification of the Palestinian factions under the aegis of the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune. Let's have a listen.
عن منظمة التحرير الفلسطينية فتح السيد عزام الأحمد عضو اللجنة المركزية وعضو اللجنة التنفيذية للمنظمة. عن حركة المقاومة الإسلامية حماس أدعو الدكتور إسماعيل هنية رئيس المكتب السياسي للحركة. عن الجبهة الشعبية لتحرير فلسطين القيادة العامة السيد طلال ناجي. عن جبهة النضال الشعبي الفلسطيني السيد أحمد مجدلاني. رئيس حركة المبادرة الوطنية الفلسطينية السيد مصطفى البرغوثي. عن حزب الشعب الفلسطيني يوقع السيد بسام الصالحي الأمين العام للحزب. عن الجبهة العربية الفلسطينية يوقع السيد سليم علي البرديني الأمين العام للجبهة. عن جبهة التحرير الفلسطينية أدعو السيد ناظم اليوسف نائب الأمين العام للجبهة ليوقع بالنيابة عن الأمين العام للجبهة السيد واصل عطا أحمد أبو يوسف. عن حزب الاتحاد الديمقراطي الفلسطيني فدا أدعو الأمين العام للحزب السيد صالح رأفت سعيد صالح. عن جبهة التحرير العربية أدعو نائب الأمين العام للجبهة السيد فيصل نيكولا عرنكي. عن حركة الجهاد الإسلامي أدعو عضو المكتب السياسي ورئيس الدائرة السياسية للحركة السيد محمد سعيد محمد يوسف الهندي. عن الجبهة الديمقراطية لتحرير فلسطين أدعو عضو المكتب السياسي للجبهة وعضو اللجنة التنفيذية لمنظمة التحرير الفلسطينية السيد فريد بطرس مارون سروع. عن الجبهة الشعبية لتحرير فلسطين أدعو عضو المكتب السياسي للجبهة السيد عمر أسعد مراد.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, made a keynote speech during which he congratulated all the Palestinian people on this historic occasion that will hopefully pave the way for the establishment of an independent Palestinian state with Al-Quds as its capital.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. كلمتين فقط. أن نتذكر ما يقارب 40 سنة خلت في نفس القاعة وتحت نفس السقف، وأعلن من طرف المجاهد المناضل الشهيد أبو عمار ياسر عرفات أعلن قيام الدولة الفلسطينية. مرت بنكسات ومشاكل ومؤامرات. الحمد لله اليوم يوم تاريخي، رجعت المياه إلى مجاريها. شاكر لكل الحضور، كل المسؤولين الفلسطينيين الحاضرين بكل فصائلهم أنهم لبوا رغبة الشعب الفلسطيني في غزة والضفة والقدس والشتات، ولبوا كذلك رغبة الشعب الجزائري. هنيئا لنا. أتمنى إن شاء الله أن عن قريب نرى حقيقة قيام دولة فلسطين المستقلة كاملة الأركان في حدود جوان 67 وعاصمتها القدس الشريف. السلام عليكم.
In the same context, and on the occasion of the signing of the Declaration of Algiers, a souvenir photo gathering the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, with the participating leaders and heads of delegations of the Palestinian factions took place.
برعاية وإشراف من السيد عبد المجيد تبون رئيس الجمهورية.
Several participants in the conference expressed their gratitude and relief following the signing of the Algiers Declaration, describing it as a historic and glorious opportunity to reunite the Palestinian ranks. Let's have a listen.
هذه اللحظة التاريخية والمجيدة اللي احنا نرى القدس.
Through this historical and glorious moment, we see Al-Quds. I don't have a word to say, but the Algerian revolution and the resistance of the Palestinian people are combined. No words can express my deep gratitude in our situation as Palestinians. It might be a lovely day among the Algerian and Palestinian nations, but surely a sad one among the Zionist entity.
نوقع معا على هذا الإعلان حتى نتخلص من هذا السرطان الخبيث
We want to get rid of this cancer that entered the Palestinian body, which is division, that was never part of our culture nor our history. Yesterday we thanked President Abdelmajid Tebboune. He said no need for thanks. We are Palestinians doing our duty. Therefore, we believe that this announcement will be executed. And us, the Fatah movement, we pledge to be among the first executors.
عبر المشاركون عن ارتياحهم للمبادرة الجزائرية.
The participants expressed their relief concerning the Algerian initiative being a precious opportunity to achieve national reconciliation inside the Palestinian home. They also appreciate the continuous Arab efforts, particularly the Egyptian one, that of Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and their support for the Palestinian cause, alongside the efforts that allow the signing of several agreements to end the division in the ranks of Palestinian brothers. And with this, the works of the Algerian conference ended with a success.
The conference for the unification of the Palestinian ranks was crowned by the signing of the Algiers Declaration, a declaration which included 9 principles for the Palestinian reunification in the face of the Zionist occupier. Ines Killu has the details.
الموقعين على إعلان الجزائر للم الشمل من أجل تحقيق الوحدة الوطنية الفلسطينية.
Algiers Declaration, stemming from the Conference of Reunification, which was signed by the Palestinian factions, came to emphasize the importance of national unity as a basis for steadfastness and resistance to the Zionist occupation in achieving the legitimate goals of the Palestinian people. The declaration came to consecrate the principle of political partnership between the various Palestinian national forces through elections, and to allow wide participation in the upcoming elections hosted in the homeland, as well as to take the necessary steps to achieve national reconciliation by ending the division, strengthening and developing the role of the Palestine Liberation Organization and activating its institutions, with the participation of all Palestinian factions. The same document also stipulated the election of the Palestinian National Council at home and abroad, in accordance with the agreed formula and approved laws, with the participation of all Palestinian forces within a maximum period of 1 year from the date of signing this declaration. Algiers Declaration urged accelerating the holding of general presidential and legislative elections in the Gaza Strip and the West Bank, including Al-Quds, the capital of the Palestinian state, according to the approval laws, within a maximum period of 1 year from the date of signing the declaration. Algiers Declaration also came to emphasize the unification of the Palestinian national institutions and the mobilization of the energies and available resources necessary to implement reconstruction projects and support the Palestinian infrastructure and social structure in a way that supports their steadfastness in the face of the Zionist occupation. That declaration also included an emphasis on activating the mechanism of the Secretaries General of the Palestinian factions to follow up on ending the division and achieving national unity and political national partnership, and an Algerian Arab working group will supervise and follow up the implementation of the terms of this agreement. The signing members to the Algiers Declaration of Reunification and the achievement of Palestinian national unity pledged their commitment to developing and expanding popular resistance. At the end, the participants in this conference of reconciliation expressed their thanks and appreciation to the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, for his initiative and sponsorship of the conference in order to come up with these best results.
للم الشمل من أجل تحقيق الوحدة الوطنية الفلسطينية برعاية وإشراف من السيد عبد المجيد تبون رئيس الجمهورية.
The President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, Supreme Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Minister of National Defense, received on Thursday Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Staff Committee in the National Army Circle here in Algiers. Story by Sabrin Tafirganit.
Of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune was received by the Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, the Army General Saïd Chengreha. after listening to the national anthem of military formation on Canal. The audience took place in the presence of Ramtan Al-Amamra, Minister of Foreign Affairs and the National Community Abroad, the Army General Saïd Chingreha, the Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, the Army General Mukhtar Billah Shaban, the Mauritanian Army's Chief of Staff, the Niger's Army's Chief of Staff, the Major General Salif Moudi, which his country is hosting the actual session of this council, the Chief of Staff of Mali's armies, the Major General Omar Diarra, as well as the ambassadors of the countries members of CIMAC, ambassadors of the permanent member countries of the International Security Council accredited in Algeria, German ambassador to Algeria, UN's resident coordinator in Algeria, and the representative of the African Union in Algiers.
Monsieur le Président. Bonjour, Excellence. Bonjour, Excellence. Enchanté, Excellence.
During this audience, the President of the Republic highlighted the historical and fraternal character of the relations linking the member countries of this committee and the determination of Algeria to promote its relations to match the expectations of the sub-regional people, notably through its contribution in the political and security stability in the sub-region. Basing essentially on the principle of the rejection of foreign interference, encouraging internal dialogue, and the preservation of territorial integrity, national cohesion of the states. In this context, the President of the Republic called on the international community to assume its responsibility in the sub-region according to the UN decisions, notably through offering more assistance of the Sahel region in order to achieve a sustainable development and local solution that could surpass the socio-economic problems and difficulties that are part of the main and true causes of the degradation of the security situation in the sub-regions. It must be marked that the holding of this special session of the Chiefs of Staff Council of the country's members of the CIMAC falls within the framework of an Algerian initiative targeting the implementation of a new cooperation dynamic and operation coordination between member countries through the adaptation of a new legal text. This session is also an opportunity for a point of views exchange and the evaluation of the security situation in the sub-region.
In a related activity, the Army General Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Saïd Chingreha, took part on Thursday in the proceedings of the extraordinary meeting of the session of the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Staff Committee held in the capital Algiers. The details with Ines Killo.
On the initiative of Algeria as a member of the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Committee, which includes Algeria, Niger, Mauritania and Mali, our country hosted the extraordinary session of the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the Joint Operational Committee member countries at the National Army Circle in Bni Messous on Thursday, October 13th. This session was attended by Army General, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, Saïd Chingriha, Lieutenant General Mokhtar Boulay Sha'ban, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Mauritania, Major General Omar Diara, Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Mali, and Major General Salifou Moudi, General Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Niger, aimed to discuss the endorsed new draft text relating to the security cooperation mechanism as part of the revitalization of cooperation and the consolidation of interoperability between member countries. This meeting was an opportunity to exchange views on issues of common interest, notably throughout the interventions, analysis and assessment presented by the Chief of Staff of the Council of Chief of Staff of the Joint Committee member countries on the security approach, adapted in the framework of the fight against all forms of security threats, particularly the fight against terrorism, cross-border organized crime and illegal immigration. It was also an opportunity to salute Algeria's role in the sub-region and its commitment to consolidate cooperation with the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Committee. After the opening of the meeting by Major General Salifou Moudi, Chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Niger, whose country currently holds the rotating presidency of the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Committee member countries, the Army General, Chief of Staff of the National People's Army, delivered an address at the beginning of which he welcomed the Algerian guests before stressing that this meeting would be an opportunity to exchange views and assessments on the security situation prevailing in the sub-region. The Army General stated that the main objective of this session is to achieve these aspirations of the peoples of the sub-region for peace, security and socio-economic development through cooperation and the consolidation of the solidarity links, friendship and good neighborliness between the countries and armies of the sub-region. Subsequently, the Chief of Staff of the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Committee intervened and expressed their optimism about the revitalization of the fight against terrorism and cross-border organized crime, the achievement of positive results in the area, as well as the success of the efforts made by each country with the aim of purifying the region from all pests and enabling its people to live in security and stability. The work of this extraordinary session of the Council of Chiefs of Staff of the member countries of the Joint Operational Committee was sanctioned by the adoption of the draft texts proposed by Algeria.
Let us now have a listen to the statement made by the head of the Algerian diplomacy, Ramtal Amamra, on the occasion of the signing of the Algiers Declaration.
We gather in this historical day to proudly testify the end of the path launched at the beginning of this year by the President of the Republic, Abdelmajid Tebboune, with the support of President Mahmoud Abbas, with an aim to unite and reinforce the Palestinian national unity, now that the efforts culminated under the auspices of the President and thanks to the positive commitment of the Palestinian factions leaders.
And that was it for our today's news edition. Thank you for tuning in and goodbye.